What up? It's your boy Nick Incredible Man, and this is 911 Lone Star Season 3, Episode 6, the ATX Files. Man, I know I say it so much, but just another wonderful episode, man. Let's talk about it.
Yo, fight until you make it, yo, don't think it, no, just take it. Don't wait for someone to break it, take control, then don't just take it. Hey, you can make it happen, you just gotta take some action. Take the ship and be the captain.
Yet again, this was another great episode of 911 Lone Star, and I gotta say, I know a lot of people feel like, it's become the Owen show, but this episode, we didn't really get a lot of Owen, and I'm okay with that. And I'm okay whether we get a lot of Owen or not. I like Owen. I really enjoy Owen's character. He brings a lot to the table. But this was an episode where Owen kind of took the back burner this episode. It heavily focused on Captain Vega and Judd and his son's relationship. And then there was just some extra stuff on the side because we didn't see Carlos this episode. But I really love the fact that we focus a lot with Tommy this episode because we know that Tommy's going through some stuff since losing Charles, man. And it's nice to see her in the grief counseling, well, the grief support group, with her talking about it and mentioning it and, just dealing with it because she's dealing with the grief, but then is I don't want to say she's not dealing with it. It's just hard to really just wrap her head around, if you will, because she understands the concept that Charles is gone and she knows this, but she just misses him. And everybody deals with grief in a very different way. And we see that this episode had a lot of supernatural-esque elements going on into it, like with the ghosts and then the aliens. But I really love the fact that, she acknowledged that maybe the lights flickering was Charles, and then at the end of the episode, we see that the lights flickering wasn't Charles, but the candles being relit after she blew them out might have been Charles. Now, one thing for sure, I believe in ghosts and aliens, man. Dude, with ghosts, I don't bother them, they don't bother me. And now with aliens, dude, like the universe is so expansive. There's no way that we're the only living beings. Period. That doesn't even make sense. We can't be, with the universe being so big and expansive. We can't just be the only living beings. So that's my thought for ghosts and aliens. I believe they exist. But with this episode, we see that Captain Vega is she's struggling, man. She's really struggling. And then we get this one particular case with this chick. She feels like she's been hexed by her ex-boyfriend, and like when the worms came out of her nose, oh my god, I almost threw up a little bit because oh my gosh, I tell you, that got me. Okay. It was nasty, man. It was straight nasty. But the chick was, she was like, I do farm the table. And it was like, well, maybe some other stuff came to that table from the farm. But they saved her and everything. And then the chick starts talking to Tommy about, somebody's trying to contact her. And we see in the long run that the lights flickering came from mice chewing at the wires. But at the end of the episode, like I said, the candles being relit, it kind of gave Tommy that, I don't want to say sense of closure, but gave her a little bit of peace of mind, if you will, because she cooked the food and everything for Charles and kind of just set that out and said what she wanted to say to him to kind of give her some peace of mind and kind of just let his spirit rest, if you will. And that was a nice sentiment because I feel like that's something that Tommy needed and we got to see it. That's not something that took place off screen. That's something that happened on camera and we got to be a part of her handling that process. And yet again, let's talk about Grace. I love Grace so much. I love Grace, and I think you guys love Grace as well because Grace is just a straight boss, man. We see that this episode, Judd is trying to kind of be in his son's life, and his son is having to spend the weekend with him and Grace. And Judd's trying to do all these wonderful things with him that, that a father and son would normally do, but his son is not that kind of person. He's vegan. He doesn't eat meat. He doesn't go hunting or anything like that. He plays Magic the Gathering, and I think we could all agree that Magic the Gathering is a fun and wonderful experience. If you know about it. If you don't, it's something that you definitely check out because it's such a wonderful, thrilling excitement. Let me see what else. He probably plays video games, skateboard, and everything. But him and Judd really didn't quite click like Judd wanted to, and he thought of a wonderful idea to bring in Owen to talk about aliens because the very first case this episode that we deal with is this kid that him and his girlfriend are doing like a midnight picnic or something or whatever, and they come across these two blue alien figures and he leaves her out in the woods. when she mentioned the fact that he had left her so many times before, I was like, something's gonna happen and he's gonna leave her. Dude, the moment the little aliens show up and everything, he's like, get behind me, and then he gets on the 4-wheeler and leave her. I was like, oh dude, you messed up so bad. She's definitely gonna break up with you this time, man. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Then he gets caught in the barbed wire. They messed him up. But we see that Owen talking about aliens allowed Judd to connect with his son this episode, and I felt like that was something wonderful for Judd because he really didn't see how it was going to happen. And as that progressed, we see them having that connection, but he also made a simple connection with Owen, but it was something that he could experience with his father, and him and Judd had a wonderful time, although it kind of got ruined by so much stuff, gamma radiation, and these two fools that took this stuff from a medical hospital. And well, all hospitals are medicals, but from a hospital, and it happened to be like radioactive. First of all, anything from a hospital like that, like when it comes to like medicine or utensils or something like that, you do not fool with, because you don't know what it contains. And they open it and they lathered it on their skin. They don't even know what it was. Like, I'm not putting anything on my skin or consuming anything. I need some information about whatever I'm gonna ingest or put on my skin. I need to know a little bit. And they didn't. They put it all across their skin and they died. Well, the chick might have didn't die. She might have lived. But her boyfriend or husband, whatever, he died. Then they passed it off to somebody. Like, this episode got real crazy, man. Like, I knew that they were gonna break down like the ghost aspect and the alien aspect. I knew it wasn't gonna just sit up there and like, well, I don't know. It kind of leave it open ended or closed. They kind of opened it and then they closed it at the end of the episode, because 911 Lone Star is not that kind of show. Had it been that kind of show, it definitely would have been open. But it's not that kind of show, so they found a way to actually close it. But I really loved how everything came together, and I just loved the concept about this episode because Judd got to spend time with his son, and they got that togetherness that they needed. And Judd didn't think that it was going to go his way, and he felt like he kind of let his son down, but his son told him he had a wonderful time. And then we see that, Captain Vega was dealing with some stuff from her husband passing, and we got to see her resolve that a little bit. The highlight of this episode for me, though, was the part where Judd called Grace and she needed to get the information from the chick that bought the necklace. And she just laid into these people from the credit card company and was like, hey, look, listen to me. I don't care what y'all do. Y'all need to get me this information, because if you don't, I will put a TikTok of this recorded voice call and let people know that y'all didn't care that these people out here are dying. Grace is 100% OG boss, man. But yet again, this was another episode that I loved, and we didn't get to see a lot of the cast. We did at the very beginning, but after that, it focused on two individual situations that really, I guess, needed special attention, and I really loved that from 911 Lone Star, man. This is your boy Dick Incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button so you can't smash any more. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them, and subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. Peace out.
I cannot complain because today, I'm doing